What's up, guys? This is Joe with Schematic Solutions, and we are back at it with another trading journal video. So on our last video, we dove into our dashboard formulas, as you can see. Now, this video was going to be both pivot tables and pivot charts, but we're going to have a shorter video and we're just going to talk about these pivot tables. We may make a chart. It's really easy, but we're definitely not going to start arranging them yet. But ultimately, we can start off by making sure, as we come to our journal, we have at least, I would say at least five columns, rows of information filled out. Rows, 5 rows. And yeah, so you put in your dates, put in your day of the week, put in your time. Make sure all your titles at the top are exactly how you want them. Dollar loss, dollar profit, strategy, reason for loss, withdrawal, balance, blah blah blah. Okay, perfect. So everything's there for now. All we have to do is select inside of the data table, go to insert, and select pivot table. Now it's going to ask us what's the range that we're going to want. Let's see if we can get this all the way down to 1001, and we will want this on a new worksheet. Perfect. So this new worksheet we can name pivot data. Now, what's the first piece of information we may want? What is it? We can do something like what pairs are we trading, and what our, do we not have it selected? That's why. Okay. So we'll want to expand our pivot data table out to AA. Data. Change data source. Instead of R, this will be AA, but I believe it won't let us because we have a blank. Yeah. So, in order to change that, we'll just type in blank. Or we'll put a B for blank. So that should allow us to come over here, change our data to AA. Perfect. Now we have a good amount of information. Now we could put our sum of our loss, our sum of our profits. Boom. We can place a different thing. So this, we'll start off with this first. Now, as we're doing this, there's something that we want to keep in mind. We never want to place another pivot table underneath, because sometimes based off of like all the information that comes up, these pivot tables can actually overlap, or they can try to overlap each other, and then you'll start getting errors. So never place them underneath each other. I just place them out to the side. I usually put 3 to 4 spaces in between before I paste another one. Now we can do whatever we want. So if you want to see your profit and sum for the day of the week for a certain pair, if you just want to look at the day of the week, we could look at that. If you want to do for a certain time of day, you can see, okay, Monday at this time, Tuesday at this time, I lost this amount, or I made this amount, whatever the case may be. And this is where we could really start to customize our journal to see the data that we actually want to see. So, pretty simple, right? All we had to do was fill out the information, make sure all this information was correct. We select inside. We come to insert, we select pivot table, we put it on a new sheet, and we actually had to drag out, so we placed a B in our blank spot and we dragged out our pivot table data. But if you want, as you're making your pivot table, make sure you already have something inside your column, or sorry, inside your category, and you'll then be able to type in AA all the way down to 1001, meaning the pivot table will be reading all of this information. And then this is where you actually get to have fun, completely customize how you want to look at this data. So I'll throw up maybe one more. Let's see, what do we want to look at? So we want to look at the date open, and we'll put pair underneath that. So for the date open, we also want our average profit or loss. Or I guess we could do some. We could definitely do some. That's okay. We'll obviously have to format these. And if we format these once, dragging all the way down to the grand total, we will never have to again, luckily. So we have, for certain dates, what pairs, and our sum of our profit or loss. We could also change this up and do something like number of trade. Bring it over here, and it'll show you exactly what number trade. If we want to delete pair, we could do that. Remove field. So boom, this is showing you your trades by number. And this is really cool because let's say you want to take off your profit percentage, take off all of these, and let's just do total profit loss, the sum of total profit loss. We can come up here and make sure anything that is blank, it's not going to show. And boom, it's showing our total profit or loss. Now, just to show you guys, one last thing, we'll come up to pivot table analyze, and we will make sure we're selected inside of here, and we will type in or press pivot chart, and it gives us this chart here. So we can go to design, and instead of a bar chart, let's look at this as a line chart. So it's showing each day what, or for each trade, what you're making, but that's not actually what we want to see, right? We want to see more so what is our balance, and this is what we want to see. So boom, we see for each trade, for each day, what our balance is doing. We can see we dipped down, we made that higher high, we came back down, higher low, just to make that higher high. Yeah, so ultimately that's how you make a chart. That's how you make a pivot data table. It's really simple, few clicks, and you really get to customize this. So ultimately in our next video, we're going to, one, really dive into specific pivot tables, different types of it, or specific information, pieces of information that we can throw into a chart, and we're going to be adding those charts onto our dashboard. So once again, I hope you guys gained value. I hope the pivot tables is as easy to you as it seems to me. And if you guys do have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out. Feel free to drop some comments on YouTube or DM me personally. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.